and welcome to Sud10 Inspirations with Daniel. Hopefully, I can inspire you, and before it's over, we can inspire each other. I thought I was going to come on earlier. Then I didn't have my charger, and I was too lazy to go out to the car and get it. So I thought I was going to use a substitute charger. That charger did not work. And that lets you know sometimes you can't substitute for the original. Sometimes you have to stick with the real thing. You have to stick with your authentic self. And so what I want to talk about is, of course, giving a voice to the voiceless. That's what I will be talking about as promised throughout the time, all the way up until 2026. If I jump into something different, then that's going to be the direction that the Lord leads me. But right now, I'm sticking with giving a voice to, giving a voice to the voiceless. That's what we're talking about. And why am I talking about that so much? Because that's what this platform is all about. It's about giving a voice to the voiceless. It's about letting other people know that you've gone through something and they have probably gone through something too. And they not only have gone through something, but they will go through something. And it don't always have to be something traumatic. It can be something simple. So that's why with me, I always look at things and say, I'm thankful for the small things in life, because those small things can compound, become greater things. One of the small things that I'm celebrating right now is this summer when I first started with Sud10 Inspirations with Dale, I only had 0, then 5 subscribers. And then I moved up to 30, and I was so happy to get 30. And so now I'm up to 39, I think it's 39 subscribers for Sud10 Inspirations with Dale. I guess I can Google myself. Well, not Google, but YouTube it and find out exactly what it is. I thought I had that number, and then when I got on, I forgot what it was. And that's because my mind was all over the place, so I was thinking about that. So I'm at 41. And so I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating the fact that I made 10 more. Guess what? Next time I'll have 50. I'll be celebrating again. Then 60. Now I'll finally get to that 1,000. And because you always have to take those small steps and be grateful for those humble beginnings. Be grateful for the small things. Small things matter. And another thing that I'm celebrating today that I'm grateful for is, I told you I had a mentor. And so having a mentor is a little bit different from being in a classroom with a coach or a teacher. Because with mentorship, you have to do more applying life skill, life lessons. And with teaching, you have the base knowledge, and you get that knowledge and understanding, and then you take that information and you apply it through regurgitating or showing what you have learned through some type of test. So with mentorship, you also go through it and you learn it. You have to apply based on what somebody else has gone through, and they share that with you. And so it took me a minute to really get the grasp of it, because I was so intertwined into like how you do education and mentorship. Found out that that's not the same thing. Mentorship deals with, see, when I'm down here in this room, my forehead sweats a little bit more and everything, because it's light shining on my head, so it makes it a little bit hotter. So if you see me wiping, I'm wiping because I'm just hot down here, because the airflow is a little bit different. And so, okay, back to the subject. Sorry about getting that sidebar, but that's what's happening. All right, but one of the other things that I was telling you about is that celebrate those small things. But with one of the things that my mentor did tell me to do was to add more products. That you have to have products. You have your talents and your gifts, but you also have to connect products with it. So you already know that I have the Sud10 Inspirations with Dale books. Well, that's not Sud10 Inspiration. It's a Sud10 Inspiration with Dale's collection that goes with my publishing company, which is Sud10 Inspirations with Dale LLC. And then also, I have the t-shirts that says, love yourself. It says, love yourself. It says, I don't like because I love. I don't like because I love. That's what the t-shirt says. And then with the book, You know, I have the I don't like because I love book. Then I have a book collection of books with that connects with that. And so she was telling me, she said, you need to get a nice mug or something. But this was during February, Black History Month and Valentine's. And she said, then you can fill it up and do something with it. But, you know, sometimes you have a whole lot of ideas. Thank you for joining. You have a whole lot of ideas and you just keep going. And then so now I took that idea and finally, I didn't say I would put it to the side and say I wasn't going to do it. What I did was I took all of the different things that she gave me, ideas and thoughts, and I took those ideas and thoughts and said, okay, well, I'm going to put it on my calendar, I'm going to put it on my list, and I'm going to eventually do it. And so that's what I ended up doing. And so now I have the Sud10 Inspirations with Deb mug. Love yourself for the wonderful person you are. So now you can get the Sud10 Inspirations with Deb mug. And see, this cup is like a coffee cup. You can get it, and if you're interested and like to get one, they're $10, so let me know. And then so with me, I started off drinking out of this cup earlier. Thought I was going to be drinking and sipping, trying to be cute, doing like this. You know how you see people do that? But I don't drink coffee. So I had some lemonade in here earlier. All of my lemonade is gone now because I drank it up trying to wait on my phone to charge. So that's what I have for today. Such an inspiration with Deb cups, mugs, books, and I also have the Such an Inspiration with Deb t-shirts. But now I do want to say a little bit about giving a voice to the voiceless, because that's what we're all about right now, giving a voice to the voices. Because sometimes you find yourself letting your power get away from you by letting other people tell you something about you, and then you have to realize that, wait a minute, I know who I am and I know whose I am. That's what I was telling my sister earlier. I know who I am and whose I am. And the whose I am mean I am a child of God. That means that God had already told you how that you are fearfully and wonderfully made to be. And then he already told you that he has established you in your mother's womb. Because if God has preordained and predestined you, then don't let man tell you something different, because God has already told you that you are who you are. He said that you say it, you speak it, because you said I am. Don't let somebody else change that about you. And I have to be careful about that, and you got to be careful about that. Don't let that creep in. And so this is what I came up with. So I wrote it down like a poem, because I like, and if you notice my books, I like to do the poetic type. I like to give the poems and have some type of little rhymes or something at the end. And so this is what I came up with the voice for the voiceless. And this is the one for tonight. I'll come up with something else for tomorrow. And I'll just keep adding on. And by the time March 2026 come along on the 28th, we'll have a wonderful time, and we'll be giving a voice to the voiceless. And let me tell you what this says. It says, in silence they linger, unseen, unheard. Dreams held captive, every voice deferred. But courage awakens, a whisper takes flight, turning the darkness into radiant light. A story once hidden now opens the way, inviting the quiet to rise to say, my voice has value. My truth will be shared, for voices deserve to be heard and cared. So your voice deserves to be heard and cared. So don't let anybody tell you that you don't have a voice. Don't let anybody stop you from talking. When you are talking to somebody else and they try to shut you up just because they feel like you don't have a voice, know that you do have a voice. Know that you are a person that has something that you can share, something that you can say. So sometimes you're going to feel beaten down, but don't let somebody else beat you down, because the world already beats you down enough. Don't give somebody else that much power. So continue to aspire yourself. Continue to give yourself that voice. Because I remember this, I was reading a story, right? And the story was about a lady, and she was actually a college student. So she was in college. She was always sit at the back of the class, and she said that in her own testimony that she always wanted to say something, but she always felt afraid. She always felt ashamed. She was scared because she felt like, well, nobody really want to hear what I have to say. But guess what? One day, She finally got up. She got up, and guess what happened? The people started leaning in. And they really gravitated to every word. They held on to every word she said. And then they told her at the end, they said, I really needed what you just said. I was going through the same thing myself. And as she was going through the same thing, and she finally shared that message with somebody else. She finally gave herself a voice and other people a voice to the voiceless. Because what she found out was that other people was also going through the same thing. So don't hide what you are going through. Sometimes we don't tell everybody everything, but what you are going through, know that you're not going through it alone. Because that's what people like. They like to try to make it seem like you're the only person going through it. You're never the only person going through anything. There's nothing new under the sun. Remember that. So give yourself a voice, because we are going to give a voice to the voiceless. So again, this is Sud10 Inspirations with Dale. Hopefully I have inspired you, because you have certainly inspired me too. So did you look in the mirror today, and what did you say? I hope you said, when I look in the mirror, what do I see? I see God's image looking back at me, because I don't like me, because I love me. Can't you see? So give yourself a voice as we continue to give a voice to the voiceless. Again, this is Sud10 Inspirations with Dale. Hopefully I have inspired you. You have definitely inspired me too.